we're gonna be watching a video from P1M about America, that America finally got a beautiful airport. I really don't know where it is, but I would like to land there and see myself that which airport it is. But yeah, let's see where it is and which state it is in, and hopefully to see it in person one day. But yeah, let's see first of all where it is.
Now, around the world, there are some truly breathtaking airports. In Singapore, there's Changi. Morocco has the distinctive Marrakesh
Qatar.
Menara. And of course, there's
United
the spectacular
States, United Arab Emirates
International in the UAE. These places are stunning both inside and out. They're marks of what can be achieved through innovative design. But you'll notice that none of them are in America. In
True.
fact, no US airport.
Damn. Oh, these are the number 1 to like top the list. Okay, Doha. Yeah, Qatar, right?
Ranks inside the worldwide top 20, which might come as a surprise.
So none of
given
them are
this place invented
Americans.
the airplane and is home to the world's oldest operating aviation hub. While America has some unique airports, it's fair to say that this type of infrastructure hasn't been its strong suit, at least until now. In the Pacific Northwest, a new terminal has just opened, and it's not just one of the most beautiful airports in America.
Oh, look at that. That does look nice, dude.
It's up there with the most beautiful in the world.
Really? Where is this? Where is this, boys and girls?
Sitting on the west coast of the US, Oregon is a haven of natural beauty.
Oregon.
Blessed with both the Pacific Ocean and the Cascade Mountain Range, Beaver State residents really are spoiled for choice.
Okay, Oregon.
Zoom in on the
One
map
day I'll be
and you'll
there.
see Portland, the state's biggest city. With an unofficial slogan of "Keep Portland Weird," you can imagine it's a fun place to spend a weekend. But first,
Just
you'll need to get
weekend,
there,
nah.
which means passing through Portland International. Steadfast and reliable, it was always one of America's better airports.
Okay,
but for years, it's been in desperate need of an upgrade.
So they are
the original
upgrading it
terminal
now.
was constructed nearly 70 years ago in 1956. Over time, development has seen it spread across 11 separate buildings. The problem is that they were all designed and stitched together under varying structural and seismic codes. And that made it near impossible to expand and evolve pretty important features like security checkpoints. Structural impediments like shear walls and brace frames had to be removed to allow flexibility in case of a need for future adaptations. Portland Airports, or PDX, was in need of a dramatic refresh. And so more than $2 billion was spent to modernise the site.
Whoa.
Now, I know that might sound like a lot of money, but
Yeah.
by the end of this video, don't be surprised if you're checking flight prices to Portland, because this is no minor renovation. And I really mean that. The new terminal, which opened earlier this year, is the biggest public works project in Oregon's history.
Wow.
Not only that, but it's also the largest.
Dude, honestly, it looks really, really nice with that woodish roof and the floor and all that. It looks really cozy type of,
Largest mass timber project of its kind anywhere in the world. You absolutely can't underestimate the scale of what's been undertaken here. But with that said, ZGF
But isn't that very kind of fire? Fire can get it easily, no?
architects and the Port of Portland were keen to make sure
Very
PDX still felt
fire-friendly.
accessible and like part of the city. That meant bringing the outdoors indoors to reflect the natural beauty of the state. And working with contractors Skanska and Hoffman, that's exactly what they've done.
Pacific Northwest is known as a timber background, the timberland. So we took inspiration from the forest of our region.
So is timberland kind of taken from this state?
Inspiration as a walk in the park, and then make sure that they knew that sense of place, that this was the Pacific Northwest and not any place else in the country.
It took 6 years to establish a supply chain to source all the wood for the roof.
Yeah, wood,
And
I see that.
impressively, it was all spruced from within a 300-mile radius of the airport.
Oh.
With mounting budget pressure, a lot of projects focus on importing the cheapest materials from all over the world, but that's not been the case here.
Really?
The focus was on building sustainably using local craft and timber. Now, let's get back to that beautiful airport. Walking through the new terminal once all the work is complete, you'd be excused for thinking you're strolling through the city's famous Forest Park rather than rushing to catch a flight. You'll see more than 5,000 plants, including fully
So they brought all the greenery kind of inside the airport as well and made it very kind of greenish, with that timber vibes, you can say.
mature black walnuts, ficus, and olive trees.
Oh.
They've got access to the natural sunshine that pours in through the 49 strategically placed skylights.
Cool.
The ceiling is a lattice design spanning 9 acres and 600,000 board feet of Douglas fir timber taken from 11 forests. Coupled with the wooden ceiling, a biophilic approach has been used throughout the terminal for 2 key reasons. The first is to sequester carbon emissions and make this product as sustainable as possible. But also, a natural space is thought to lower blood pressure, making your travel experience more relaxing. You might not think of an airport as a calming space, but that really is what...
Yeah, that's what I thought when I saw. I was like, looks very relaxing, cozy, So kind of very calm, very nice,
Portland is going for. It all sounds great and definitely looks the part, but here's where things start to get really interesting. For the entire 3 years that this renovation was taking place on the building footprint, the airport remained open. These major renovations...
I was also thinking about that. Like, how did they manage to do all this while, were they really working while this was going on, or was the airport shut down? So it was open.
Had to navigate a live site operating 500 flights every day. Now, the thought of that
not
might
many,
give you a
but
headache,
okay.
and it probably should, because the logistics of running and overhauling an operational airport are incredibly intense.
Right.
But here's how they did it. As I mentioned, the building skeleton is split into various sections with the main terminal in the middle and concourses in the flanks. Key operations like ticketing and security were moved to the front and sides of the building. That allowed for demolishing the remainder of the structure behind while keeping the baggage system operational. Around planes arriving and departing, a section of the airfield became a work site for pre-constructing that incredible roof. It was crafted into 3 massive sections made up of 18 different pieces, with each weighing anywhere from 270,000 to 635,000 kilos.
That's heavy.
The biggest section stretched more than 40 by 60 meters.
The roof was built with big steel box girders, so 20-foot by 6-foot tall box girders on about a 100-foot grid. And then in between those girders was built up with curved glulam beams and the mass timber panels on top of it and a roofing on top of that. And under it was latticed a series of, I think it was 3 by 6 lattice to give the beauty of the roof.
Beauty
to
of the
into position, the sections were separated and drawers slid out from between the girder sections to lift the roof up to 17 meters. They then had to be moved for about a mile from the construction site at the end of the runway at about 1 mile per hour. Each section of roof took around 3 nights to move. 1 to drive it to the starting position, the second
I
night
was
to move
thinking
it
that's gonna
halfway,
take a
and
long
the
time.
final night to get it into position. Once slotted into place, security was able to move into the new building. Now, it's not every day that you see an airport roof, especially of this size, wheeled across an operating taxiway. And don't forget that there's one key factor when you're working with wood. It really doesn't like getting wet.
True.
Going through all of this effort for the roof to then expand and not fit into place would have been extremely frustrating. But luckily, there was a novel solution.
While we were prefabricating the roof, as soon as wood showed up, we would put a temporary roof on it. We'd put a membrane on it to protect it from the elements. And that was the primary strategy in keeping it beautiful before we actually moved it into final position.
So a roof for the roof. But this wasn't the only problem the team had to face.
Okay.
The area underneath construction wasn't empty. It was being used for Portland's baggage system, meaning it was an occupied space. And so all the fitting work had to happen during terminal downtimes between midnight and 3:30 a.m.
Wow,
Because we were taking these massive roof sections over an occupied space. During the non-down times, we had to tie it back in seismically. So if there was an earthquake, the roof didn't fall on the people down below it.
Yeah, we forgot to mention another small problem.
Oh,
Portland
damn.
is Oregon's most seismically active region, with scientists predicting a 37% chance of a major earthquake in the next 50 years. So PDX needs to be ready, and it will be. In the event of an earthquake, the whole roof is designed to move as one.
What it's supported on is Y columns, so that the columns come up, and on the top of each Y is a base isolator. It's a friction pendulum isolator.
Okay.
And so that it's been engineered to take the mass at each location. And so at the edges, you might have a different size friction pendulum. In the middle, you have another size. And those move, and it's calculated that the amount of friction force that is taken at each location allows it to move exactly how much it needs to move. And the friction part is what holds it into place.
That allows for 56 centimetres of movement on the friction pendulums. That means that where the roof touches adjacent surfaces like solid walls and glass, they have to pivot in all directions, and that took some pretty special detailing, mock-ups and testing. Astonishingly, it's all come together, and it really does tick off the big three: stunning, sustainable, and hard as nails. This project has been far from straightforward to engineer, but it'll mean Portland International can go about doubling capacity over the coming years.
True.
By 2045,
they're gonna make that money back.
It's hoped that 35 million people will travel through here.
I would like
when
to.
When they do, they'll be met with a sense of whimsy that really sums up the city and this project. If you've been here before, you'll be familiar with the famous PDX carpet. Some would say it's the most iconic in the world. Stiff competition for those found in the UK's Wetherspoons pubs. But if you're worried about missing it, don't be, because it survived the renovations. You'll find recreated sections of the carpet hidden around the airport in relaxing areas ready for snapping shoe selfies, if that's even a thing.
I don't know about this carpet thing.
All jokes aside, getting to this point has been a monumental effort. But the work isn't finished yet, and Phase 2 is now already underway. It includes 11 new restaurants and shops, permanent exit lanes, more escalators to baggage claim, and cosy areas for when you're waiting at arrivals. They're planning to have all the hoardings down and works complete by late 2025. Only time will tell if PDX can land itself a spot near the top of the world airport rankings. But whatever happens, it's beautiful. This place is a shining example in American aviation and a precedent for the future.
Okay, bro, this airport, not gonna lie, looks really nice, really cozy, really clean, really kind of overall pleasing to the eyes, you can say. And I'm sure if you go there, you'll feel very, very calm overall. That's what they went for too, like at first when I saw, I was like, ooh, that looks really nice, especially because of the wood, maybe because it doesn't show that bright thing, the bright of the metal, and there are not many colors going on. They usually just put they went with the all nature thing, you can say, because they got all the trees inside with the working with the wood panels, and of course there is a metal involved, but still they really went for a cozy vibe, which is really nice, dude. But yeah, if you have been there to Portland Airport, do let me know how is it, how did you like it or not. But yeah, bro, I would love to go there and see myself, but I'm sure they're gonna make this money back, and many more flights will go there because now it's more bigger. And yeah, before they were doing 500 flights when it was closed, for this construction. But yeah, I'm sure many more people will come, and they're gonna make more money and make this money back, hopefully. But yeah, it's gonna be a good thing for Portland, at least, you can say. But yeah, never heard about that, Portland having this thing. I know Timberland and all that, but yeah, alright, I really like it. It looks nice, feels nice as well. Even through the screen, you can say it feels good, looks nice, looks cozy, and the hard work that went into it and all the innovation, the earthquake thing which they did was really cool as well. So yeah, hopefully it will survive in earthquake and rain and all that stuff like that, But yeah, overall really good video and really good airport too, man. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.